Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. How's everybody doing? All right, folks. We got a market headed to 66.05. I think we'll get there. Couple things. It's really been a sort of smooth day. Silver and gold's been the stars. They both look very good going into next week. And the news cut coming next week, maybe he'll surprise us to do a half. Who knows? Maybe he'll surprise us. But anyway, got a market that looks very good. I feel real good about everything, so I hope everybody else feels real good. We got a couple we put out there today, and I think if you really think about things, we had a great. Didn't y'all think that was a great retirement center meeting we had? I enjoyed that. Did y'all enjoy that? The ones that were there? I guess you get to see how to supercharge an account, right? You learn about a Tom Busby money fund versus a general bank money fund. And, those make a difference in a retirement account if you do it that way, what I'm doing. So, again, I'm doing that totally free for people who want to listen and learn, open up come towards the Telegram channel and be there. And then you want to use what I use to do this, we'll use the Tasty Trade platform. High degree of risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, I like what the market's doing. It's sort of had its corrective time period. A lot of the stocks corrected that have come back to life. Apple's on its way back. MU's corrected and making highs, and NVIDIA, I think you get NVIDIA charging ahead, then you got a market that's going to be singing by October, okay? So I'll be fully invested with everything by that time, and pretty good stuff. Buck says he's glad he enjoyed the retirement. He's glad he's retired, increasing his income. I like it. That's my opinion too, Buck. There it is. Hold it. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. This is what you ought to be part of and join the Telegram channel. We got 262 people in there, and I think we've had about 400 or 500 that said they wanted it. And if you don't come to the Telegram channel, you miss the value of being part of it. But join that. And anybody here, did anybody here request to be part of it and hadn't gone over to the Retirement Center Telegram channel? I'm just asking. See, I can't tell. I don't know. But pretty valuable stuff. It's going to go on October, November, December. So be part of it. All right. Remember, if you need a referral to Tasty Trade, we've got it. Send Jonathan Rowe an email, and he'll take care of that action for you. Jackie, go into the Telegram channel, join the Telegram channel, and it's in there. It's posted in there. There's the referral if you want to get a Tasty Trade account. Rowe at DTI Trader. Got a class coming up September 22nd and 23rd. Excited about that. Not just next week, but week after next. Remember, if you join the small class, I think I might remove this. So if you're thinking about it and you would like to talk about my schedule, I'm gonna post a schedule starting on next year. But if you want to be part of that, why don't you put your name, email, and phone number in here? We'll have some discussion, figure out what works best for you and me. I don't know how many I'll do next year, but one thing's for sure, we got to plan it if we're going to do any at all. Okay, let's if you will, put your name, email, and phone number, and we'll get a hold of you and try to get it worked out. Okay. Jonathan, tell them about this one. This one's got 500 plus people a member, and we got about 200 people hadn't made it to the Telegram channel.
Yeah, got to make it to that Telegram channel. Otherwise,
Yeah, because I'm going to post a trade in there next week. I got one that will definitely give you a 10x over what you paid to be a member.
Okay, so on top of the information that you get every Monday, Tom's going to do that for you. But you got to be in that Telegram channel to get the trade.
No, Hector, you can do it right today. Go in there today and do those allocations. You'll be fine. Match it up.
But the weekly letter is $9.99 every Monday, or not every Monday, it's for the year, but you get the report every Monday after the close. You get a broad market update. Tom gives his thoughts for the week. Next week, we'll have the Fed meeting on our minds. You get key news for the week. Again, Fed meeting next week. Earnings season. That's important during the big earnings seasons every quarter. Kind of winded down at this point. Weekly Magic 5 stocks, where Tom gives you his top 5 stocks for the week with trigger numbers. And then Tom will give his special opportunity of the week as well. It is really jam-packed for only $9.99 for the year. Great little weekly trade letter on Monday afternoons. Alan, just don't say no. Be like Nancy Reagan. Anyway, Jonathan, we'll put that out Monday. The retirement center is not in one click, Carol. I know that's confusing, but I'm doing this on my own and I'm building it over there. So you got to join the Telegram channel. That might be the disconnect. Carol, you of all people should be in that room. All right, Jonathan, what are you going to do here? What are you going to tell us? We're updated. Before I forget, let me update the time. It is 3:15 on Friday, September 12th. We got the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ all above their first 3 days high. That's why they say long. What is the first 3 days high? That's the first 3 trade days of the month. We mark the high and the low from those 3 trade days to start the month. Then we want to see the market break out of that. John, let me ask you a question. I know you've got a very big degree in finance and business, but do they teach you this sheet there? They teach you this? No way. No, this is paid a lot of money. And this right here is what you need to know. Anyway, just thought it'd be good to have it. Yeah, this is a huge piece of the puzzle here. It really is, isn't it? I mean, I'm taken back how accurate this sheet is and how it organizes your thoughts when it comes to investing. Yep, I agree. So we got a lot of long. We got crude oil short again. We got one stock short, Berkshire. Before we get to that, we got Micron, Nvidia, Google. all along. Tesla, Palantir, Home Depot, Gilead, Hood, and Reddit. And we got a long series of longs here. Some nuclear on there, some Bitcoin, some gold and silver indexes. Then we get down here to the overwhelming, can't miss what the market is telling you. So far this month, a bunch of longs, not a lot of reds. That's a pretty clear sign that we got some strength in the markets.
John, I think 90% of people that get on TV and talk or do this don't have a clue just how good this little 3-page document is for
I would
accuracy
agree.
and for making money.
I would agree with that. And
Well,
it is on slide number, where'd it go? Slide number 9 of the slide deck. We give it to you, you can take it totally free. I update it whenever time goes live, so it's always being updated every single day. Can't beat it. This is our thank you for you being here.
yep, that's for sure.
And
Carol, we'll have Jonathan look into that. I don't know what your issue is, but you're such you've held in such esteem by DTI. We'll definitely try to figure out a solution where you'll be smiling on Friday afternoon. While you're waiting, why don't you take this tip? Buy PAAS in your retirement account.
by the way, the slides and the spreadsheet say view only because if it said we give you view access, not edit access. Could you imagine if everyone that we handed this out to had the ability to edit it? That would be a disaster. So you can only view the spreadsheet because I can only update it, which is exactly what we need and what you all should want. Sound good, Carol? Yeah, you can make a copy of it if you want, as long as you have a Gmail account, which is has a Google Drive, which is wherever that's located. Just click the file button and you can download it if you want.
Do you have a Gmail account, Carol? That might be your issue.
And even if you don't have a Gmail account, you can click file and print. You can print it. So
Yeah, I print it all the time. I'm sure no computer heavy.
okay, Tom, we got some topics for next week. Train and trade.
Let's do it. Monday, we got a Fed meeting next week. I'm going to talk about how to position yourself for the Fed and take advantage of what they tell you. Okay? We will take what the information says and what should be the outcome going forward. What people are not taking into consideration is by January, Jay Powell will be the chairman in name only. It skipped Tuesday, I think, didn't it? Why Tuesdays can pay. Discover the hidden rhythm of the market and why Tuesday often creates unique opportunities for disciplined trade. This is when I have my connected dots where I put out my weekly trade. And this is when I'm looking to enter the market based off what happened on Monday. So this is a real key day for getting good positioning for the week. Now, I convinced Chuck to do this. I hope y'all will listen and take notes. This is the key numbers in the market, part 1. On Wednesday, Chuck will be doing that. And on Thursday, he'll finish it up with part 2. This is something that we've done for years. you're getting what I would call the executive summary of what for the last 30 years Chuck has put together. You're going to learn stuff that people will never see except you if you'll show up on Tuesday and Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday, we'll finish part 2. On Friday, we set up for the final stretch of September. I'll show you how you make the transition from September to October. And that's important that we spend that time on Friday on Train and Trade. Five things to watch next week. I guess the FOMC statement news conference would be something I'd focus on. Retail and food services comes out, but I think the big news is really going to focus on what Powell does. All this, the housing market, that'd be something to watch with interest rates coming down. And the construction will be interesting. It's very interesting. The weakest sector is going to have a lot of spotlight next week. Y'all think of any stocks that might move on that information? I can give you one right now, TOL. Empire State. That's New York. Industrial production. Bellwether comes out. Oh, that's good. We need to look at that one. FedEx's results. All right, let's look at the schedule real close. Monday, we got the 11 o'clock Train and Trade. Tuesday, I got my beta version. Got a new twist there. Connect the dots, Train and Trade. Wednesday, part 1, key numbers, 8 o'clock, Wednesday on the web. Thursday, Train and Trade. Friday, Train and Trade. You got to put the 2 o'clock retirement meeting in there on Friday, 2 o'clock. Yeah, SPX is on Thursday. Hold it. SPX on Thursday morning. Let me think about that. Yeah, you can put SPX on Thursday morning. I can do it. Okay. Now, this week, I spent a lot of time talking about the Genesis algo. What I'm trying to do, and I think everybody's getting the picture based on the response we got. What I'm trying to do is show you how to use technology to have better trades and do less manual labor to get those trades. I find it's very interesting when you do it right using the technology. Now, we put out the Genesis program this week, and let me do something. I'm trying to do something real quick, Jonathan. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, trying to find a room. Yeah, there it is. Somehow I got clicked off. But anyway, the Genesis algo. This is, and I've added a couple things. I'm really honing in on making this thing really valuable for you. And so we're going to talk about it a little bit today because we won't probably talk about it anymore. But the Genesis algo was designed to give you a heads up on what's moving at a key time during the day. we think it was good. Mr. Kelly, if you want to upgrade, put your name and email in there. We'll have somebody give you a ring. We'll definitely do that for you. Jonathan, write it down and get somebody to help Mr. Kelly out on that. Taking technology. How many people think it's a smart way to take technology, let it do the manual labor, and then you go in and clean up? In other words, cook the cake with the technology and eat the cake with you cleaning up, the way I would think about that. Now, here's an algo system that came out on September the 2nd on gold. Very timely, wasn't it? This was an option. Look where the current price of gold was when this went out. You think you might have made some money on that? In at 320, out at 10? That's impressive to me. That's impressive. Get this Genesis in your pocket, is what I'm trying to say. And Jonathan, I think you're going to play the whole tape. There's TLT. Look at the dates. This is notifying you where TLT was. Look at this, September 3rd. I love the fact it does all this stuff way ahead of people getting it manually. 86, it's at 90 now. Goodness gracious. Okay, that's 2 right there. $3 to $6.42 right there. Not high, not bad. It is one of my greatest discoveries ever, okay? Ever. Happens between 11:30 when Europe closes and 12, but it actually goes about 12:30. That good hour there is the way I would think about it. 4 out of 5 days, it sets the tone of today. Go look at today. If you don't believe me, go look at today. It set the tone. We're tired of going down. We're going to go up into the close. That's exactly what happened. We charged higher. And this is big stuff. If it doesn't set the higher low, those are huge days, big days. And you know it, at 12 o'clock, you're going to have a big afternoon when you get that, okay? John, will you make sure DB gets a call also?
Okay, yep, we'll do.
It's programmed to let you know. Another signal on gold, this time on Friday, September 5th. Remember, I gave it to you early, came back around and said, let's get back in case you missed it. Look at this, GLD. There's the trade. There's the price. Pretty good stuff. Gives you all the details right there. Remember, if you do sign up, get in the Telegram channel. You have to get in that Telegram channel. All right? That's the deal. Now, I want you to, if you got time, listen to the full presentation on Genesis. You got to listen to this. I didn't do it service. Wait till you listen to this full presentation. Take it away.
Hey everybody, welcome to Genesis. Today you're going to see the fully automated Genesis algo that tips us off to moves each and every day ahead of time. You can see my brokerage shot there from one of them that I took just recently with my own money. Now, we develop tools and strategies to the best of our ability, but no one can guarantee the future. There's always a risk of loss when trading. In fact, winners and losers are bound to happen. So never go all in. Don't risk more than you can afford to lose. And you can see more information on this on our homepage. Now, our whole purpose of our research is to give you an edge when it comes to trading. But remember, losers have happened and they will happen again. So if you're new and you're just worried about getting started, maybe start paper trading for a while. But we're going to do the best to make your experience great. Now, my name is Graham Lindman, and when I was only 15 years old, I began trading under the mentorship of a former banking VP, Tom Busby, who taught me the driving principles of the stock market. And within my first year under his wing, we were able to double my $100,000 trading account, taking it north to $250,000 in what felt like no time. Now, this was paper trading because I wasn't even 18 at the time, but just to show you the power of Tom's principles. And that officially kickstarted my investing career, and I've never looked back. Using some of those same principles he taught me, I was able to double my account in 2021. This was my Robinhood account back then, up over $33,000. And some of his principles are behind many of the successful trades from our opening playbook sessions. Anytime you hear me talk about price action or looking at key numbers, that came from Tom. He's the one that taught me that. Well, recently I got a call from Tom with some groundbreaking news. You see, using these same market driving principles, he's actually been able to build out what might be the most hands-free trading weapon that has ever existed. And you guys here are going to love this because we know that you love trading with us every day. And this is actually in our quiet hour here on Opening Playbook where you can get some more action. Now, it's a next generation smart algo that automatically sends you high-powered trade alerts on autopilot nearly every single day. That means while you're out doing things you love, away from the screens, or maybe just grabbing lunch, whenever you hear that ding in your pocket, you know another high conviction trade has been dialed up. For example, like on October 7th, you could have been grabbing lunch at your favorite restaurant, heard that ding in the pocket, pushed a few buttons to set the trade, and turned an 88% gain there overnight. Maybe Tuesday, you were out taking a hike, getting some fresh air, and that day you got the ding in the pocket, 91% gain overnight here. Wednesday, let's say you're playing tennis. That sounds fun. I wish I could get out in the middle of the day and go play tennis. That would be awesome. But you hear that ding in your pocket, 48% gain there. We can go over and over again. Thursday, 96%. Friday, 107% gain there over the weekend. Now, if someone started with $1,000 in each after only 5 quick trades and maybe 15 minutes of your time, that could have been an extra $4,314 in trading profits over the week, all thanks to a brand new fully automated smart algo that we call Genesis. And I love this. You guys are going to see some research here today that's going to shock you, dissecting the different market hours of the day, and it's going to be really, really eye-opening. Now, to set the stage, Genesis isn't like your old-fashioned trading software indicator. The smart algo requires zero oversight. Each automatic alert includes everything you need to trade on the go. You get the stock ticker, entry price, profit target, stop loss, and even an individual chart, as you can see right there. Now, that means instead of sitting at your desk, wasting hours of your day, hunting for new trading setups, you can have a chance to target the next win while doing the things you love. Now, the Genesis algo is the culmination of over 40 years of market experience, T-Buzz's market experience, and it's all automated, all in one place. And it's unlocking a whole new way to trade the stock market. For example, like back on September 12th, at the time, the QQQ, dead in the water. Not much to write about there, but thanks to Genesis running 24/7 around the clock, you could have been out for a morning bicycle ride, or maybe you were sitting at the desk like me. Either way, you get the ding right there and read that the QQQ was on the verge of breaking out over the next hour with a 78% confidence rating based on the results from a 16-month study. And anybody who could have set the trade with a few clicks of their phone, maybe invested $2,000, when everything worked out, it hit the profit target there, and you could have pocketed an extra $1,723. Look at that. It said it was going to break out over the next hour. What happened? It broke out. Now, a quick $1,000 from one trade is great, but that's not even close to the best part. You see, unlike a lot of trading strategies out there, with Genesis, we don't need to wait days or weeks for the next entry signal either. Genesis is automatically generating these extremely accurate trade signals up to 5 times per day. And as you'll see in a moment, it's not just at any random time. It's very, very specific, making your job even easier. Now, that means this smart algo literally generates an abundance of trade opportunities each and every day. For example, like the 3 trades that would have hit on the same day, September 12th here, GLD 76%, 164% on SPY, 270% on IWM. Now, of course, it shouldn't go without saying that the markets don't come with guarantees. There's no magical button for instant wealth. Now, our internal audit that overlaid the options trade on the live trade signals showed remarkable results. But obviously, we can't promise anything in the future. So if you're looking to get rich overnight, do yourself a favor and log off now. But if you're looking for an undeniable edge, a new way to trade the markets unlike anything that we've ever seen before, then look no further. Because with Genesis, you'll always have a constant stream of alerts firing off in your back pocket to choose from, with tickers that are leading the pack, the tickers that are breaking out in the next few hours. So no more headaches staring at confusing chart patterns, no forcing low probability trades. Genesis does all the heavy lifting for you automatically. So if you want to be one of the first in the world to have a behind the scenes look at this incredible trading breakthrough, then stay tuned, because by the end of this broadcast, a handful of folks will be able to jump in on the next stock Genesis flag to break out today, literally within the next few hours, targeting what could be the next great move. So if you want in on the next opportunity, I want to hear from you right now. Post Genesis there in the chat, and I think our chat's closed, so I won't even be able to see it, but go ahead and do it for fun and let David Mound hear you. So let's go ahead and do it. Like I mentioned a moment ago, my name is Graham Lindman, and you might recognize me from my flagship Perfect Apple trade or heard about my famous wrap orders, which has helped folks see doubles in their trading. Now, as much as I'd love to take all of the credit and tell you that I'm a self-made six-figure trader who figured it out all on my own, well, that would simply not be true. You see, my trading career dates all the way back to nearly 20 years ago, down in Mobile, Alabama, meeting one-on-one with one of the greatest traders of our lifetime. His name is Tom Busby. Now, Tom got started in the markets back in the 70s, and since then, he's been featured all over the place. His books are still one of the most valuable resources I know of for traders at all levels, whether you're just getting started or if you've been at it for a few decades like we have. There's a lot of insights in there. And much of Tom's success dates back to when he was handpicked, get this, handpicked by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange to receive his very own Globex terminal. This was a huge, huge deal. He was one of only 50 in the world to get this new technology. Now, that gave him insights to the markets that almost no one else had at the time. And it even helped him manage a firm so successfully that it was eventually bought out by the $1.3 trillion institution, Morgan Stanley. And now that he's walked away from Wall Street, he's been on a mission to show everyday folks how to tap into some of the same methods that have been kept away from the average Joe. And you guys can see some of the stories here. Of course, you saw some in the chat earlier. Bruce here, when I follow you, I make money. Tom is committed to helping you all the way through the trade. Bobby, program's amazing, over $2,000 today. Emmanuel here, you're a great teacher, made around $2,200 from one trade. Keep up the good work. So Tom, take it away from here. Show us what Genesis is all about.
Well, thanks, Graham. And you know, one of the nice things about it, it takes a lot of work to get the right information. Embracing technology with Genesis allows us to do that. In a moment, I'll reveal how Genesis identified breakout stocks averaged a 78% win rate during our 16-month audit. But first, it's important to remember there's no get-rich button when it comes to trading. So please, once you get your hands on this tool today, and everybody here ought to do that if you want to be a better trader, because it does a lot of the work for you. It leads you to the right answer. Be smart, don't over-leverage yourself. You see, Genesis is designed to radically change when you enter trades and how you look at the markets. Most people believe buying fear and selling greed is the key to becoming a successful trader. I'm sure you've heard Warren Buffett's famous saying, buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy. And while that's generally a great approach in theory, try it emotionally. The sad reality is it's practically impossible for the average trader to execute that strategy. When fear is at its peak, the urge to sell can be overwhelming, which almost always turns out to be the wrong decision. And when greed takes over, the temptation to keep riding the wave can lead to devastating losses. So if you ever made critical mistakes in your own trading because you felt the fear of missing out or the fear of losing money, it's not your fault. As a human, these emotions are hardwired in your brain as a basic survival instinct. What you need is a way to overcome these human handicaps using a more practical, data-driven approach. One that helps you get a clear picture when stocks on the verge of breaking out. For example, check out what happened back on July the 9th. At the time, the S&P 500 was stuck, going nowhere fast. Most traders would have had no clue the S&P was about to break out or crash to new lows. But if you knew on this candlestick right there, despite a high probability of breaking out the next day with a 78% success rate, of course you'd buy it. You'd have the confidence to do it. And you didn't have to be at the computer to catch that trade either. In fact, you could have been out playing a little golf. That ding also comes with this. You need that ding. Automatically receive the entry signal with the stop loss and profit target criteria to practically set it and forget it. Click the few buttons from your cell phone. It's that simple. And watch as the SPY hit a profit target the very next day. 73% gain on that one. But that's not even the best part, because the very next day, hey, I was out throwing the football, heard that ding, placed that quick trade, and was paid before I went to eat that night. 96% gain on the SPY.
Tom, that's incredible. I mean, $2,000 into each would have paid out $3,406 in profit. That's additional profit on top in only 24 hours. And that's on charts that gave almost no directional bias to the naked eye. But Genesis was able to turn it into not one, but two big winners. So Tom, I need to know, how is Genesis able to predict these quick breakouts over and over again, sometimes multiple in a single day?
That's the question I'd be asking. And all thanks to these market breakouts that happen during one specific hour of the day. 12 o'clock Eastern. Write that time down. Don't leave here without writing that time down. I call this time the Genesis hour. Now, most so-called experts will lead you to believe that the stock market's dead during the middle of the day, like watching paint dry. That couldn't be further from the truth. Look at that chart right there. It tells everything. Each hour of the day, the importance of that hour, the morning hours, midday, and the afternoon. And as you clearly see, there's hardly any money made during the opening or closing hours of the day, just noise to take your money. The real money's made during the Genesis hour, getting that direction. Anyone can identify the stocks breaking out during the Genesis hour, can repeatedly target these quick moves. Hey, look at the Russell 2000 in the news lately. On June 17th, anyone watching the opening hours of the day might assume that small caps are ready to head lower. Of course, knowing what you know now, you wouldn't have been shocked by the morning drop. But then during the Genesis hour, everything changed. 4 out of 5 days, it changes. With Asia and Europe, markets closed, the noise gone, you're able to quickly see that the Russell 2000 was breaking out. Been alerted right away, automatically, comes right to you, and look what came next. 114% gain.
In one day.
Yeah. What did happen again on July 16th? In the morning, the markets drifted around, taking your money, not a ton of directional bias. But during the Genesis hour, Wall Street showed their cards and IWM started breaking out. What a massive opportunity, what they call the boring lunch hour. Genesis algo would have automatically sent the entry alert on IWM, tell you where to get in, how to get in, and when to get out. Anyone that taken that trade would have taken about 30 seconds, 125% gain. This should get your attention.
Yeah, that is awesome.
If that's not good enough for you, watch it happen one more time a few days later on July the 22nd. That morning noise, Genesis hour breakout, here we go. Automatically entry, built-in option selection, away we go. 280% gain on that one.
Wow, that's nice. Tom, that's really, really cool. It's cool how you were able to break down the morning trade session, the afternoon trade session, and then what happens right in the middle of the day, tipping off Wall Street's hand. Now, Tom, $1,000 in that last trade alone, just that single trade, would have paid out $2,800 in profit overnight. If you were more confident, started with $2,500, we're looking at $7,000 in pure profit. Now, that's enough cash that could cover a few months of the car payment, maybe cut down some credit card debt, or simply just throw it in the savings account, or maybe one of the great stocks that we have picks for you here on Opening Playbook, all from one 24-hour trade. Now, Tom, I have to admit, I think this data may come as a shock to most everyone here in the room. I mean, I've been told countless times that there's no money to be made during the day, especially during that lunch hour, because everyone is off to, grab lunch, or they're just taking a break. I was always told the middle of the day might be a quieter time, but the actual data here that you dug up for us tells us a completely different story. You guys can see there just how bullish that noon to 2 p.m. Eastern hours are. Very, very
I call it the noon balloon.
I love it. So why are stocks breaking out during the middle of the day, during this Genesis hour?
Well, Graham, there's something really important that happens during this hour. The Genesis hour is the first time in the day that stocks are able to move freely on their own, meaning all the other world markets are closed and we're focused on the U.S. Most people assume the trading day starts with 9:30 opening bell. That's not the case. The day starts much earlier the previous night with Asia, then Europe. By the time the U.S. markets open, it's totally cluttered and filled with noise, overnight orders, and all that during the morning action. It's nearly impossible to figure out what Wall Street's really doing. And it's nearly impossible to find out which stocks are really breaking out. However, with the 12 o'clock Eastern rolls around, something really special happens. It's the first hour of the day that the overseas markets are closed, and it's the first time that we see Wall Street trading freely on their own without the noise from international markets. That's why you'll see so many opportunities during the Genesis hour, because the worldwide competition has been eliminated and U.S. traders are running the show. And anyone who can spot stocks breaking out during the 12 o'clock Genesis hour can then jump in ahead of what could be your next major move. Hey, take a look at what happened on August 19th. At the time, the stock market was chopping around, going nowhere fast, not much directional bias, just market noise. But during the Genesis hour at 12, once the international markets were done for the day, S&P started breaking out. What happened next? That was a clear signal Wall Street was buying up stocks in the first real hour of that trading day, and the markets could go roaring higher. Anyone who placed a quick trade could front run the move, would have seen a 45% gain on that day. Then take a look at what happened next. August 21st, the S&P was dropping in the morning. That was just a bunch of noise. Right on time during the Genesis hour, Wall Street took complete control. Overseas competition was eliminated, and the markets were officially breaking out. Now, you could be out to lunch with some of your best friends, heard that ding in the pocket, letting you know that S&P 500 was on the move, giving you specific criteria to take advantage of the opportunity at hand. Anyone who clicked a few buttons to follow along could have seen a 67% gain on the spot. Love to trade spot.
Tom, this is amazing. I have to say, I've never heard anything like this before, but the proof is in the pudding. And it's really, really cool how you're able to turn what most people think is a boring part of the day into great winners like this, 45%, 67%, and many more. In fact, anyone following along with your Genesis algo could have seen not 2, not 3, but 6 opportunities that week. They're coming one after the other here. And all 6 of those actually would have won. So it would have been a pretty nice week going 6-0. Even a small $500 into each of them would have paid out $1,268 in profit for the week. Which
annual about 60,000, Graham.
That's exactly right. It's not a life-changing sum of cash, thinking $1,200, but that's definitely enough to move the needle, especially considering that the week before, look at this, guys, 5 for 5 with the Genesis algo. This thing is red hot. When Tom showed you those stats at the beginning of today's class, he really means it. He is on fire with this way of trading. 4 of which of those would have paid over 100%. So $500 into each that week would have paid $2,789 in profit for the week.
Over 100,000. You got a pay raise so that week.
That's right. That is a pay raise. And that reminds me of what some of your top students have said in the past. Here we have Hugh from Minnesota. Made $3,656 in a single day. That's awesome. Jim P, total of $2,060. Great way to start the month. Please pass along my thanks to Tom. And then there's Ken. He says, I love the simplicity. It's a great tool to trade. Picked up an extra $3,200 today.
I love it every time I call in love letters I get from the students, but my best students like Hugh, Jim, and Ken know that with all traders, bound to be winners and losers, so never go all in on a single trade. Luckily, you don't have to. In a moment, I'll show you how you're able to leverage these quick moves with explosive, cheap options that only run about $100 a contract. That's right, $100 a contract. So you can always start small and grow it and scale it over time.
Wow, Tom, only $100. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here can afford to get in on that. That's $1 per contract, folks. So, Tom, tell us, do we just wait for 12 p.m., that Genesis hour to roll around, and then just buy any stock going higher at noon?
Well, if you wanted to do that, I'm sure you'd get some solid results. But, of course, in order to get the optimum returns, I wouldn't buy any stock going higher during the Genesis hour. Instead, I want to know which tickers are the strongest in the markets they're in. And the fastest horse, the one leading the pack, the secretariat of the bunch, leading the breakout. Now, if you've been following what I've been doing for any amount of time, you may have heard me talk about my custom-built trading technology. It's Power Zone. And it's a revolutionary tool that my team built to isolate stocks breaking out during the week. The Power Zone takes into account multiple key numbers, including the high and low prices of the reference bars across 5 different 30-minute candlesticks and 1% average true range calculations in each individual stock. Now, the tool costs us north of $500,000 to get up and running, but it's been worth every penny, as you see from what we've been doing. Whenever a stock crosses into the Power Zone during the Genesis hour, that means it's leading the pack and breaking out. And you can place these quick trades, let Wall Street do the heavy lifting for us. Once I optimize the Power Zone for intraday charts, I'll be in live trading it with my own money on the line, manually tracking each entry, each exit, each profit result. And I have to say, they're even better than I thought they originally were going to be. Look at this model portfolio, 278% account growth during our 16-month audit. Now that stands pretty high on the ladder right there.
Mm-hmm. And the 78% win rate, that's really, really good.
Yep. As impressive that is, we wasn't satisfied. We keep improving it, so we've taken it to the next level and automated the whole thing. That means no more time glued to a half dozen screens, no more back of the napkin math. Your life just got a whole lot easier. The signal normally comes right about 12:05 Eastern time each day, and we place a quick trade to take advantage of it, knowing that our results are about 78% accurate from that. Like with gold on September the 24th. Not much going on during the morning trading hours, just noise. Then right on time, right during the Genesis hour, gold was breaking out into the Power Zone, meaning there was a good chance that gold would carry on higher with 78% confidence rating based on our exhaustive study. Automatically, now folks, automatically alerted you right there around 12:05 with the entry, ticker, entry price, where you're wrong, and your profit target. Details are all included. Anyone who would place a quick trade to follow along could have seen an 83% gain on that one.
Wow.
Now, the program has been fixed to specifically target the breakouts on the biggest and most liquid tickers out there, the SPY, the QQQ, IWM, GLD, USO. That way you can automatically target the fastest horse in the race. Once the smoke clears at noon, U.S. traders take over during that hour, Genesis hour. Then we simply piggyback on their move, riding the next breakout. Like the trade that happened on September 11th, one of the best results we've seen so far. Again, the markets were chopping around just like the data shows, but then right on time during the Genesis hour, the QQQ was breaking out into the Power Zone. And sure enough, a massive rally came next. And if you had Genesis working for you automatically in your pocket, you'd have heard that ding with the entry details, everything spelled out, and away you'd go. And after taking about 30 seconds to place that trade, going back to whatever you were doing. And 24 hours later, cashed out with a 266% gain on that ticker, QQQQ. $1,000 invested on that one would have paid out $2,663 and some odd cents profit overnight.
Yeah, overnight there. I mean, and if someone was more confident, maybe start with 5 times as much. We're talking about 13 grand overnight. Now, most folks I know of would love to make that type of money in a month. I would love to make that type of money in a month off of one trade, let alone in 24 hours. So tell me, is it really just that easy?
Depends on who you ask, Graham. Running countless strategy tests, working with market data, sophisticated programs to build this tool was not easy. But fast forward to today, getting a simple entry alert to your phone with all the information needed to take the trade. Riding a bike may be more difficult than following along with Genesis. I simply wait for Genesis to alert me that during that time of day, right around noon, and if I like the trade, click a few buttons and I'm all set. For example, look what happened last June. Monday, June the 10th, no action on the SPY in the morning as expected. Then during the Genesis hour, here it comes. Folks with the Genesis algo would immediately receive the alert with all the necessary information. 2 days later, cashed out with an 87% gain. And there's something really important to note with automatic entries, because we're able to get the signals in a split second, no delay, without taking tons of time on our end. We can get an execution advantage. That's important. For example, same story, next day, June 11th. It's like watching paint dry in the morning. There's no money to be made before noon. Then Genesis happens, 103% gain on the SPY again. You know, all week long, folks could have made money on the Genesis algo. Wednesday, June 12th, maybe where you're out waiting for fish to bite, heard the ding, there's an 82% gain. Thursday, another ding while enjoying the summer air, 94% gain on the SPY. Friday, June 14th, no different, while mentally preparing for a nice relaxing weekend, heard the ding, here we go again, 160% gain on the SPY. Now, if someone started with $1,000 in each trade that week, they would have profited $5,275. Folks, now we got a real pay raise, over $200,000.
Yeah,
and that's without compounding any of the gains.
That's right. I love it too, how it's always firing right around 12:05 p.m. each and every day. You're not having to look at the charts and run around and see if you miss a signal. You always know when it's coming. Speaking of which, we're just a couple minutes out from that now, so I'm really excited to see what's on tap for today. Hey, Tom, if someone started with 5K, we're looking at $26,000 in a single week. And the best part is that's without any heavy lifting on our part, because your automated trading algo does the heavy lifting for you. It's the Genesis algo.
That's right, Graham. In fact, I made the algorithm so good, it actually can replace me doing all this work. And with the astounding results we've seen, I'm ready to grant access to a few people here today to be part of it. You can start searching for the latest, greatest. Trading indicator, trading software requires you to manually do all the legwork, keep second guessing yourself, getting messed up with your emotions. Cut out the guesswork and pay attention to the Genesis, unlocking what could be your best trading year yet. So if you're ready to tap into the future of trading with an entirely new way, and I'm officially inviting you to take charge of your financial future with the power of Genesis. Genesis is the only smart algo I know that isolates stocks breaking out during the most powerful trading hour of the day. You won't hear anybody else talking about this. Automatically generating alerts with everything you need to trade on the go. Your entry price, your profit target, stop loss, everything you need, information, selecting the option right in the palm of your hand. Now, before I reveal the full list of breakout stocks that Genesis flagged today, let me walk you through how the membership's going to work. Every day, Genesis will scan through all the major indicators, tickers, biggest. When it flags one of these tickers breaking out during the Genesis hour, you'll immediately hear that ding in your pocket and the alert hits your cell phone or computer. Get the entry price, the ticker, where you're wrong, where you're right. All the details are included right there for you. Everything you need to target what could be your next great win. 51% gain on this one on the QQQ. 1, 2, 3. Think about the steps. 1, 2, 3. Access these alerts. Opt in to receive the automatic Genesis alerts via Telegram starting right now. That way there's no delay in getting your next entry. All the details on how to sign up can be found in your members portal that's hosted on the main website. No download required. And I'll walk you through that live during a masterclass I'm hosting. And we can expect an average of 2 to 5 alerts per day. You heard me, 2 to 5 per day.
That's a ton of fun right there, Tom. And now we normally wrap up these opening playbook sessions, 11:30 or noon or so. So this comes in perfect time. And they'd log off the opening playbook and they're firing away trades from the Genesis algo, keeping the party rolling.
It's the best of the best, Graham, at this time of day. Now look, if you want to trade the underlying stock with the Genesis alerts rise, that's okay. But if you want to target some of these big outside returns, like I showed you today, you got to use options. Now, if you're new to options, that's okay. I will show you and teach you what you need to know. You can use the most basic form of options available, which is the call or put options. Find them to the Genesis trades. It's no harder than shooting a layup. And for those who want to dig a little deeper into options, the other unique ways to leverage these Genesis alerts to target great firms, go to the Option Bootcamp 101. Teaches you what you need. Income plus. Now, I'll even teach you my personal method for selection, high-powered weekly options that are low price, but have shown the power to pay massive returns. That way, any new members who join today are equipped to hit the ground running right out of the gate. For example, like the Genesis trade on October 11th. Anyone who got in on that one, 92 cents or $92 per contract, 107% gain. 84 cents, $84 per contract, 266% gain.
And Tom, that is dirt cheap. I love it. We've got options traders in the room packing the house each and every day. We've got sophisticated options traders too. They're going to eat this up. Someone put $2,500 into each of those. That would have been enough to pull $9,325 in cash. That's a good chunk of change. But your VIP coaching programs here at DTI already run north of $10,000 per year.
And I'm booked solid, folks. Let me tell you, this is something you want to have to trade with.
Oh, you definitely do. And again, $10,000 is not out of the equation to join. I think my parents paid probably pretty close to that to get me working with you when I was still in high school. So I think that the price tag would be more than fair considering that there's nothing else quite like Genesis out there. So what's it going to be?
Well, not going to be 10,000. We set up an amazing deal because I'm here with Graham right now before we open these doors. Get ready. Here's what gets me really excited about it. 83% gain, 150% gain, 164 in just a couple of days. This is what you want to have every day to look at. I reworked algo to alert us when certain tickers are breaking down during the day, and you can make money when it goes down. And Wall Street is aggressively selling. Not only do these Genesis downside trades work, there's a clear-cut path to target some big outside moves with those. Entry, profit target, stop loss, everything you need to take advantage of. But let me be very clear. These downside trades have the same profit potential as upside ones. And I'm not just saying that. Some of the biggest opportunities from the study have been downside moves. For example, consider the 3-day market crash we saw back in July. Each day, the Genesis algo picked up a short opportunity during that span, and each one would have been a home run trade. That means over the fence, folks, over the fence. 168%, 283%, 324%.
Tom, those were all back-to-back trading to the downside. $2,000 into that last one alone. If you missed the first two and only caught the last one, which you're never going to miss them. They're always at 12, so you know when to check. But $8,480 overnight, and that was just one of the 3 downside trades that hit that week. So with this Genesis downside trade included as a bonus, it's no surprise that the price for this exclusive membership, guys, $4,295 per year. And that's what you'd see on the main website as well. $4,200 for 1 year of access.
But if you take action here today, here's a couple surprises I have up my sleeve, and they're going to shock you. Bonus number 1, we're going to take, right here in this webinar, give you $500 off the sticker price. But not just that. Like I mentioned a minute ago, just shown the power to pay out up to 5 times per day. So if you take action right now, we're going to give you that $500 discount times 5.
I love it.
That means $2,500 off. Now take the price from $42.95 down to $17.95 for total access.
Tom, that means at the current run rate and the types of opportunities you've shown us, if everything goes as planned, the entire membership could be paid off in less than a week. We saw many weeks here today from these examples where those string of trades paid over $2,000 with no compounding and starting with like $500. So after that, everything's just icing on the cake. Like some of your students have seen. Prim said, I subscribed last Friday, already recovered my capital plus $1,000 extra. That's icing on the cake. Whitney says, made my cost of subscription plus $500 in the very first week. Grateful to have found you.
You know, I'd love to see these new people that join us today, Graham, have the whole membership get covered early. I call it a scholarship, and that's why I'm going to give them bonus number 2. Half off because we're live for action takers today. We're going to do something to make this an absolute no-brainer. For new members of Genesis today, I'm slashing the already discounted, heavily discounted price another half. Oh, give me a break. $897 for a year? This
Guys.
special $8.97 offer is only guaranteed for the first 250 people. Take action now. Take it. Take it before they go. If at any point the customer service team feels we got to cut it off, we'll cut it off.
Yeah, and folks, trust me, you do not want to miss out on this. Be ready to act fast because, guys, this is an insane deal. $8.97 for access. That is just, Tom, you've done something special here. Tom, last time we did spots, we sold out in less than 2 hours. And now, you know, given that we had up over 500 people here today, the limited spots, the new trade coming here in about 30 minutes, these are going to fly off the shelf. So, guys, we're going to post that link here in the chat for you to join. If you click that link in the chat, you are going to get the live webinar discount included. That's going to cut the price from $17.95, which was that discounted rate Tom was proposing earlier, and he's slashing in half for the opening playbook here. Guys, or you can give us a call, 904-706-3532. You want to get Genesis in your toolbox. Again, it's really perfect because we'll do some trading here in the morning on opening playbook, log off around 11:30 or noon, and then you're right to Genesis, keeping the party rolling. So click that link in the chat to get started. If you want to get in for that just incredible deal, Tom, that you put together here today. I thought it was going to be closer to $2,500 for this.
I did too, Graham. I saw that price. I got shocked.
It's a really, I mean, guys, it's a no-brainer. And then get this, guys. Once you take one of the best deal memberships, don't close the next page. You guys know we like to do this. On that next page, you can get lifetime access to Genesis. That means no renewal fees, no annual subscription, nothing like that. One-time payment, it's yours to keep. Plus, get this, the lifetime members will also get free access to the Genesis Algo Indicator.
Gotta have it. Gotta have that indicator.
Now, up until now, Tom is only offering the Genesis entry signals on those 5 most popular tickers, very, very liquid tickers that give us a clear picture of where Wall Street is headed that day. However, Tom and his team just published an indicator that unlocks these Genesis signals on every single ticker in the market. Now, starting today, you can get instant access to it for free. I mean, you can find even more of these epic setups on even more stocks all on your own time. And you know the time, right around noon, each and every day during that Genesis hour when the overseas markets are closed, we get a clear picture of what Wall Street is doing, and you get to ride their coattails. So make sure you upgrade your account to lifetime, especially with this deal today. You're going to save a ton of money. But remember, this is a limited offer at this price. It's an opening playbook special. I would not be shocked to see us sell out very, very fast. Again, last time we did a limited deal, sold out in 2 hours. So that would be like selling out before 2 p.m. today. So after that, once we hit that number, Tom's going to get with this team. They're going to figure out what they're going to set the price at, but it's going up from there. So don't miss out. You guys know spots go quick here.
Hey, I can't wait to get you in here. You're going to love it. In fact, get used to checking that clock at 12:05. And as a welcoming present, inside your members portal, you're going to see another bonus value at $995 you can access immediately for free. This special cheat sheet we put together to help you have a broader picture. I'll give you insight on all the stocks that Genesis scans in real time. If you want to claim that special bonus, then you have to sign up now. And for gold members, you know who you are. Call in as well, because I've instructed our team to give you a special bonus so good you'll be jumping out of your seat. Go to dtitrader.com/Genesis or call that number 904-706-3532.
And guys, new Genesis entries are going to be waiting for you here in about 30 minutes. So don't delay. If you're interested in this, click that link in the chat, get it locked in, get in that private Telegram, and get rolling. Now, Tom, I know that you've been working hard at this for a while, and I've been very impressed with the results that you've seen. I actually took a trade from Genesis, T-Buzz. I don't know if I told you this. This was my brokerage screenshot. I made 315% on the QQQ trade. This is just basic call options in a single day. So even $500 into that one would have paid $1,575 in profit. That's enough to cover the whole membership in one trade and still have about $700 left over. And knowing you and the work you've done helping so many people over the years, I'm really not surprised. You guys have heard some of these stories, but let's keep on rolling here. Dickens, $1,930 in profit in less than 4 days, my top money-making strategy. Nancy says, last Friday, made $1,606 net gain. Never had so much fun in my live trading. And that's the cool thing about here. Genesis is a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun in these live trade rooms. Genesis, like I said, keeps that party rolling where you're not going to have to wait weeks for a new entry or weeks hold time, guys. These are very, very precise and quick trades. Enter at right around 12 p.m. each day, and you have the opportunity to hit your profit target that very day. Denise says just closed with a $400 profit, up $2,000 since it started. Denise has a small account to trade, so that's a big, big deal to her. IDP, 100% success rate on the 4 trades, almost a 100% return in a single week. And I can go on and on, guys. Just look at all of these stories. George has been trading for 28 years, and he says Tom is one of the best traders I have ever met in my life, but he's also a heck of a guy. Very humble and down to earth, which is rare for a trader. DB Cooper says, I'm up $12,000 on AMD in 3 trades. Sylvian, Tom, I joined last week. Thanks for the COP trade. Closed that with $2,249 in profit, subscription paid. KP Nadu said, thanks for this service, Tom. I've made my subscription back in the first week. Robert, over $2,000 today. Everyone should be a part of it. And obviously we have so many stories like that. So if you're watching right now, go ahead and join the club. Secure your Genesis membership at the best deal before time runs out, and then upgrade to lifetime. That's a no-brainer to do that now while you have that half-off discount rolling. You're just going to save yourself about $900 to $1,000 by doing that today. So go to dtitrader.com/Genesis or give us a call, 904-706-3532 to get started.
If there's one thing I want you to remember from class today, it's this. As you can clearly see, a lot of money's lost during those opening hour and closing hour, just a lot of noise. The real money's made during the Genesis hour. We have the algo that will give you and tee it up for you. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Look at the Russell 2000 small cap index. There it is. Open hours, nothing. Knowing what you know now, you knew to look at your watch during Genesis and everything changed. And there it is. When Asia and Europe markets are closed, the noise gone, we were able to quickly see the Russell 2000 was breaking out. Loaded right away, automatically, it takes you right to the next step, where to enter, where to exit, and where you're wrong. 114% gain on that one.
And one single day. Now that is fun.
Watch it happen again on July the 16th. In the morning, the market drifted slightly higher, not a ton of directional bias to base the trade on. IWM started breaking out right at noon. Once during those boring lunch hours, as Wall Street tells you, you're going to be doing something different, aren't you? Genesis Algo would automatically send you the entry alert on IWM, place the trade, 30 seconds to place it, 125% gain, off you go. And that is not enticing enough. Watch it happen one more time a few days later, July the 22nd, morning noise, Genesis hour breakout. Here we go. Automatic entry with built-in option selection, profit target, and stop loss. 280% gain.
That is awesome, guys. Click that link in the chat to get started, Tom. I love what you've done here. I love getting a taste of it myself with over 300% return on my first trade there. Now, guys, if you want to wait around, I'm sure we'll have this available at that discount at the 5 times discounted price at $1,795, $1,795. But if you want to be smart and save yourself about $900, just click that link in the chat right now to lock in the opening playbook half off live webinar discount, guys. It's a limited time offer. You know that these spots tend to go quick. And Tom, this really should not be running for less than $1,500 a year at the rock bottom pricing. So the fact that you've brought it to us today at $897 for a full year makes it a no-brainer. Then add the lifetime in on top of that. I mean, you guys are saving thousands of dollars here. Now, if you'd like to, just give us a call at 904-706-3532. They can walk you through the membership and everything you're entitled to. Now, Tom, like I mentioned earlier, this notion that stocks are actually most active and bullish during the 12 p.m. hour is so backwards from what most people were taught. And when you first told me about it, I thought you were joking because I had just assumed everyone goes to lunch, Wall Street gets quiet, but really it's just the opposite. And I did my own research too, and I came to the same conclusion. Look at this report over the last 10 years. You guys know I love data. You know I love pulling numbers. Give this a look. What you're looking at is the average movement of the S&P 500 during each hour of the day. So look up here. Here's your legend key. 9:30 to 11 a.m., that's that blue line. 11 to 12, that's that red line. They net out to basically nothing. But check this out. Okay, there you go. Market open, 11 a.m., so on and so forth. Check this out. What's the yellow line? This is the one making all the money, right? Let's find it here on our key. It's that Genesis hour, 12 to 1. And it's not even close. It's a landslide. Again, I pulled my own data here, Tom, just to see for myself if this is really a very legitimate phenomenon. You guys can see it firsthand here. It's not even close. The Genesis hour is where the money's at, so you don't want to miss out on it. And guys, the next window opens up here in what, 21 minutes? Oh, now 20 minutes. So we are just.
And Graham, you leave that emotional heartbreak behind you. Look at that yellow line you're talking about. It's like selling after you get that particular time of entry. It's unbelievable how good this is.
That's really, really cool. We're always looking for little, caveats in the market and little phenomenons that we can tap into and exploit. This is one that really blows my mind here because you have all these other hours kind of down here, kind of in the middle. There's some good ones, some bad ones. This one is just sticking out like a sore thumb. It's the money-making hour. So don't miss out on the newest entries, guys. Click that link in the chat to get started or give us a call. Remember, today we've got that special $8.97 discount, which really makes it so easy for everyone to get started. There's no reason you shouldn't get rolling with the Genesis algo today. Now, Mr. Mound, I know we went for a while here and I didn't get to see all the questions in the chat. If you don't mind jumping in here, getting with Tom here to answer a few of those questions to take it home. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to the Genesis Telegram and go look for that first trade.
Absolutely. Great job, guys. Tom, this is awesome. And I remember when Tom first showed me the Genesis algo, and I was just super impressed. And it's really cool stuff. So once we get into this stuff, we wind up using private messages in the chat, so you won't see any of the questions there, Tom, but I'll read them to you. So one question is roughly, how much does it cost to get into some of these trades? And I know it varies quite a bit. If you can kind of give people a range.
Yeah, typically I will go with about around $1, which is, $100 per option. I will go up maybe to $3 if it's depending on the movement we've had and how we get there. But the nice thing about it, the market waits on no one. The action time, what you're looking for. And it's sort of a process that I put together that allows you to automatically have that process without 30 or 40 years experience. To pick, to make it here, there was a lot of ones that got thrown out to get to these key tickers.
Absolutely. And I think one of the cool things, and actually somebody mentioned this in the chat, didn't have a chance to I didn't want to interrupt you to read it or whatever, but somebody said Tom doesn't just make you money with his good trades, but one of the best things he does is keeps you out of the bad ones. And I think that's, that speaks miles toward kind of the, what you have as far as discipline and discretion and stuff like that, and what your experience brings to the table as far as, not just taking a trade to take a trade.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can screw up a good trade,
right? But
I find most of the ways to do that is either a click error or something stupid or emotions getting in the way. With this process, and you focus on this time frame and you say, hey, I'm going to make those trades that set up that I'm comfortable with, you will see a big improvement in what you've done in the past if you do that one step. One step. The time, it's time to go, and it tells you this ticker's ready.
Now, do they have to do this right at like 12:01?
It usually lasts, there's 3 signals that come off, 12:05 is the first one, and there's another one at 12:35 and the final one at 1.
So how do you recommend, you recommend that they start watching it at 12:05 and then, keep looking at it and take those individual signals, or wait till they have all 3? How do they go about actually implementing?
No, I think all of them stand on their own. I'm just saying that I would look at it and then I would plug it in and say, hey, this is one I'm taking. Okay. And it's not hard to figure it out after a while, because you're going to find out, it's a lot of these trades, the SPY was hot for 3 days in a row, both going up and going down. And, these tickers tend to pay big once they start paying. A lot of times they just circle around their noise area. But this eliminates that for you because it's going to tee it up for you. And I use that phrase like on a golf course, right?
It definitely helps you focus in on everything amongst all the noise, right? You know, it
Right.
just like zeroes in, targets in on that. And I know you're going to be yelling at somebody later today about this $8.97 price that we put here. Because
I'm sitting there going, $8.97?
I know that's a
Goodness.
ridiculously low price for this.
Yeah, I thought you got to give me a break.
I know how much went into.
I thought is that for 3 months, but they're giving a year there, $8.97 for a year.
Yeah,
Goodness.
yeah. And then, you know, as we mentioned before, folks, you have then the opportunity on the second page to up that to a VIP lifetime subscription where you don't have to even worry about renewing it after a year. And that's at a greatly discounted price also. So just a great opportunity to get in on this and, you know, see what it's all about. Now, of course, some of the questions that we've answered so far are also covered in much more depth in the training that's available in the members area that Tom has recorded for you. So you don't have to worry about, you know, kind of grasping all of this right here and now from the little bit that we've kind of touched on during the presentation.
But they ought to get in now where they can go see the first Genesis. It takes you about 5 minutes to get set up. And then you can watch it develop today at, in 15 minutes from 12 to 1.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I'm holding a live webinar.
Real quick for those that are still in here, this was obviously recorded earlier this week. So there's Genesis hour is closed since it's from 12 to 1 p.m.
They can come and attend and ask me about it. You know?
Perfect. So if you get in now on it, you'll be on the list to get the link for the live session at 1 o'clock as well. So, you know, great timing, just happens to be with opening playbook that we run right up until when Genesis takes effect. And that's something you can count on every day too, right? As soon as opening playbook's over, you can go right over to Genesis and start looking at it because the timing will be that way on a daily basis. So it's a good marriage here of opening playbook and Genesis. Well, those are all the questions that we had in the chat. I'll take a quick look and see if I missed anything else. Let's see. There's a question here. The masterclass mentions dollar strikes, but the cheat sheet mentions $3 strikes. You know, which way should they be going on that?
Like I said, $1 to $3 works. And again, it's your choice, but I like the $3 personally, okay?
Perfect. All right, Larry asked about the VIP price. So it's in the chat and in the announcements, Larry. It's an additional, on top of the $897 for the 1 year, it's an additional $1,400 or $1,397 for the VIP upgrade. So all in, it's just under $2,300 for VIP, which is half the price roughly of a year normally. You can see on the screen $4,300 normally for a year, and you're going to get in all in on VIP for $2,294. So tremendous discount on both the 1 year and the VIP today. Let's see. I think those are all the questions that we have. And if anybody else has anything else, this is the time to throw it out here in the chat while Tom's still with us. I want to thank you for joining us on Opening Playbook and spending so much time with us today, Tom.
Yeah, and like I said, since it's this time of day, I moved my normal train and trade, which is 11 to 1, so you can come join us there if you want to. And
Perfect.
Listen to what we're going to do. We sort of say, hey, let me pay you to show up. So, in other words, I have to pay people. Graham and them are so good, but I pay people every day with good trades. And so yesterday we had a great one in the went long, and I guess it paid off because if you look at the market right now, no guess about it. So come.
Oh, yeah, open green, stayed green, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, but thank you, and thank everybody for helping present Genesis, and I think you're getting a heck of a deal here at $897. In the market, will not wait on you. And the next time you have a trade out there and you lose money, I want you to think, man, maybe I should have gotten Genesis. Put the curse of Genesis on you, right? There you go.
All right, we're going to do a new promo called "Don't Get Hit by the Curse of Genesis."
That's right. All right, thanks, Dave.
Tom. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
All right, bye. All right, folks, that is all we have for you. We will be closing this out in just a minute. Of course, if you get in, you'll want to start looking at Genesis right away because it's going to start throwing signals at you in a few minutes. And look out for that message from Tom's crew about the 1 p.m. Eastern. So that's about 70 minutes from now. He's doing a live session as well. Joanne, yes, once you purchase, it will be in one-click in the same one-click platform that Graham and Nathan use. So once you purchase, you don't even have to wait for a welcome email. If you get in on this, you could wait 2 minutes, 3 minutes, log into one-click, refresh it maybe if you're already in there, and you should be able to search for Genesis in the tiles at the top for your different products that you own, or you might just see it there. And you should have access to it within minutes of purchase. So, so if you're brand new, you should get an email. It might take a few extra minutes to get the welcome email, but I can tell you, I'll post it in the general chat so everybody has it. So access to Genesis after purchase, let me talk weirdly while I'm typing, is going to be at https://app.oneclicktrading.com. All right, so I just put it in the general chat, Joanne, and for everybody else, that's our membership platform. So if you're brand new and have not ever accessed any of our products, then that you should get a welcome email. It might take a few minutes, I'd say like up to 15 if the system's really busy with new members and creating memberships. It could take up to 15 minutes. It usually only takes like 3 or 5. But what you can do is once you purchase, you can go to that link that I just put in there. You can click forgot password and it'll send you an email right away to reset your password and get you in right away. So if you don't want to wait for the welcome email and you want to get in like ASAP, go to that link that I just posted there. Now, of course, like your purchase has to have gone through and created your membership to some degree, even if that welcome email hasn't gone out, like it still needs to do its process on the back end for you to get access. Obviously, everybody can't just go to the site and click forgot password and get in. So it has to have created your membership. So it may not work instantly after purchase, but if you kind of want to front run the welcome email, you can try that process. The hood options from this morning. J-Bo, you're looking for what the hood trade was this morning. I can post that for you. Boop, boop, boop in the chat. So if you're looking for the hood trades from this morning, let me post that in the general chat. There were 2. One was more aggressive, one was more conservative. He didn't give us targets on it, but they're not for this week. They're for either next week or the week after. So we've got a little time in opening and closing playbooks to talk to Graham and Nathan and kind of see where they feel the target should be on that after a little bit of time. When they're doing like overnights or same week expirations, like, you know, today for this Friday or whatever, they tend to set targets when they're doing further out, you know, a week plus, over a week out, then they tend to not set targets right away and kind of watch the trades a little bit. So so there's that. Yeah, Joanne, so Joanne, you're saying you're in one click, but you don't see Genesis. Is that what you're telling me? If that's the case, then you just need to give the system a little bit more time to get your membership in there. If you don't see it within a few minutes, you can call our support line. I'll drop that in here for you. Let me grab the number. I never remember support. I'll drop that in the direct message for you. And you can call support to check on it, but I do think you just need to give it another minute or 2, most likely. All right. Any other problems, questions, comments, anything like that before we close this out? So Ezekiel, as far as the SMS going international, I believe Our SMS is only domestic. I believe it only covers US and Canada. I'm going to send you the customer service number also, and you can ask them to confirm for you that there's no way to get those SMS messages internationally. I believe it's just domestic on the SMS, the text messaging. But do call them and double check because I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to tell you as if I know for sure, and then you might have been able to get them and you can't, and you don't. So give them a call and double check on that. All right, let me see what else we have here. So the link to join at 1 p.m. if you want to join Tom for Train and Trade, I'm going to post that in the general chat. So Tom's 1 p.m. Eastern time today, Train and Trade session is going to be at this link. Thank you, Adam, for giving me that. All right. I think
Hey DJ, what newsletter are you referring to? The T-Buzz Weekly Trade Letter? The one that's $9.99 for a year? That would be posting it right now. There you go. So you should get an email. I'm not sure how long it takes. And that'll take you to One Click Trading, which will have once you log in, you'll be able to go to Genesis and get into the Telegram. But I can I'll send you a PM. Dorley? I think, I'm not sure if I said that right. I'll send you a PM.